Do we dig the dig?
What?
Do we dig the dig?
That sucks. All right, The Dig, directed by Simon Stone. As World War II looms, a wealthy widow hires an amateur archaeologist to excavate the burial mounds on their estate. When they make a historic discovery, the echoes of Britain's past resonate in the face of an uncertain future.
What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. Up until a different movie that I watched just recently, this was my favorite of the year. But that's just because I haven't watched very much. But I liked this a lot. I thought it was really good. I thought it looks nice. The actors were really great. I thought it was like emotional and heartfelt, and I really felt it. I liked it a lot. It was good.
See, and I thought, to me, it starts off so strong, and I agree, the acting is great all the way around. But to me, it starts off strong, and I would say about halfway through, I feel like I lost interest. I sort of stopped watching, and it felt like it started dragging on, and I don't know. I don't even know what the problem is with the second half, but it just feels like a different movie from the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree, but I feel the opposite about it
also
because I was way less interested in the beginning. And it had a lot to do with like the camera work and stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
When it first started, I remember the opening shot happening, and it was like a really low down, and we're like looking up at the characters, and it was like in a handy cam or something. It didn't look very nice, and it was really shaky, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna look really bad. But it was only like that opening shot, and everything else looked great after that, and it looked really well done. But yeah, I definitely got way more interested in the latter half of the movie once it started kicking in all the stuff about World War II on the horizon, and things actually being discovered and them finding stuff out there instead of just like aimlessly digging around, and then it dug way more into the characters and in their lives in the second half too, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, I think that it does get. I also liked the latter half better. There's something happens maybe a quarter way into the movie that's really tense, and like I was like, oh shit, like I didn't think, like I was worried for a certain character, and after that, that's when it had me hooked, and then I was into it for the rest of the movie. I did watch it in parts. I watched the first 30 minutes, and then I finished the rest this morning. So I definitely enjoyed it more this morning than I did originally. I will say, I think it gets bogged down with too many characters at a certain point towards the end. I really like the focus on Carey Mulligan and Ray Fiennes' characters. I think they're incredible. Ray Fiennes, I really enjoyed him in this because it's not something, we don't see him in a quiet role like this a lot, like the English Patient.
Yeah.
But Carey Mulligan is maybe the most underrated actress working. She's incredible in everything she's in, and I don't know, I just want to give her every role. She's playing a part that's 20 years older than her, so that part kind of sucks. This takes place.
She played it well.
Yeah, she did, but she doesn't look like she's older. Like
she does not.
Like
no.
She's 35.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, and
she looks amazing. Yeah,
but her character, I think, is 50 something when it starts. I think she's 53 in real lifetime. So I don't know. I think they took a lot of liberties with the age of her and her son and stuff like that. But it worked for me because it's Carey Mulligan. I think this film's like really beautiful, and it's a rumination on, I don't know, like mortality and sexism and classism.
Definitely. Exactly. Yep. All of those things. Those are exactly what I caught in it too, especially the sexism I liked a lot. Talking about all that stuff and the commentary on that, especially in The Dig, when one of the workers brings his new wife to the dig so she can start in there, and how she was like, oh, she goes up to the head archaeologist from the British Museum, and they're like working on this dig now too. She comes in, she's like, oh, I can't believe you read my paper, and I'm so grateful for all that. And he's like, oh yeah, I definitely did those things. I definitely know who you are. And then they find out that she's just there because she's light and she can go into the dig and like not just destroy shit. So I really liked
a good thing.
them going into that and like showing how she was like the most capable person there. You know, she really was. But she was there just because like she's dainty and that's it. You know.
Right.
So it was cool having her brought in for that, but then showing her as the most like capable person on that site, except for Ray Fiennes' character. You know, he was like supposed to be the main lead guy, which was more commentary on like classism and just like snobbery in general and like scholarly stuff. So it talked about a lot. It was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it follows a lot of the same paths that other like British period pieces or like British made period pieces do. I think it gets into like the whole like theory of everything territory at some point. So when it's not focusing on Carey Mulligan and Ray Fiennes, I think it feels TV movie-ish. But when it focuses on their characters, like the writing is so good with them that I kind of forget about it. But like Lily James, I didn't know was in this movie until she showed up, and I'm like, oh shit. But I like her, so I'm into that. But I don't know. She has a subplot that I found interesting, and I wish they would have explored it a little more with her and her husband. I wish that would have been fleshed out a little more for me personally.
I was thinking about that. I don't know if I would like that to see fleshed out more. I think they did it. I like what they did with it because I didn't want it to be too much, and I didn't
Right.
want it to be bogged down because they were talking about so many different like aspects of just society in general. You know, I feel like if they bogged down too much on that, it would have just been about that. You know, instead of like the huge, you know, plethora of themes and topics that it did manage to be about.
Well, and honestly, I would have wanted to see more Carey Mulligan and Ray Fiennes and less of the other people. Like to me,
Right.
it got that was my problem. Was not it wasn't better. It just to me it gets a little convoluted, diluted, whatever you want to say. And I feel like if it would have focused more on them, I probably would have liked it more. And that stuff could have been pushed to the background a little bit.
Right. And I think that's kind of what I mean by I wish I would have known more, because if you're going to go to those characters, we need a little bit more, like, because all the attention was on Carey Mulligan and Ray Fiennes. So we get a lot out of their characters where they don't even have to say anything. We know what they're thinking, but we don't get that from the other people because they come in halfway through the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also a testament to their performances and how good they are, you know. So what do you guys think of the kid?
Like the young actor?
Yeah, the kid, the child.
I mean, he played a child, so he did
He
fine.
did. Yeah, he did. I thought he was pretty okay. His part at the end is what really got me with his mom as they're, you know, like out there at night. I really, really loved that part, and that hit really hard.
Fell flat for me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I'm like I get what Chris says when he says kids can't act, but that's weird that we thought the opposite on that.
I mean, I still think that kids can't act, but you know.
I don't, but I don't. This kid's not my favorite.
Yeah, he was a kid acting. You know, that's it.
I don't
It
want
is.
to talk shit about kids. I feel.
They can't do anything about it anyway.
You guys have anything else?
No?
Maybe. I don't know, maybe the commentary on war was pretty good and timely. How that was stepping on the toes of people's daily lives and how we never got to see like the end of these stories that they laid out. You know, we never got to see the actual like final parts of the dig. We never got to see people going to see the exhibit in the museum and all of that, and how life basically just got put on hold because World War II was happening, you know. So I think that was good too. I also liked the commentary about war and how it basically just froze the life of everyone, and we didn't get to see the plus that we wanted, like completely finished because of that. So I liked that too.
I will also say that, without spoiling anything, this might be a theme for tonight because the next movie we talk about is The Mauritanian, and I felt the same way also. The text at the end of the movie just makes me angry. It just pisses me off. Like, because you find out like stuff in history and like what these characters did, or like something that didn't happen or should have happened, and I'm just like pissed. So I was pissed about that. I'm more pissed on the movie we're going to talk about next, but Oh, but you guys have anything else? You want to do scores?
Yep,
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Chris, what's your score?
Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Sorry. My score is an 85.
Mine is a 74.
I gave it a 77. So our number is a 79. It's on Netflix. You can watch it right now. It's great. I think you should watch
It
it.
is very good.
If not for the performances alone. But I also like the story is pretty great also. And it's like a quiet little film, and I enjoy films like that.
Very interesting too. Interesting topic of archaeology.
Yeah. And like you would think that the excavating part would be boring, but I found it kind of fascinating. And you don't really
Some of the best parts.
you don't realize how dangerous it can be, and like it's stuff that I didn't even consider.
Yeah.
But all right, well, check it out. We'll see you guys next time.